Well, we've stripped things down to the bare bones. I've had to use my hat as a microphone holder. I've had to give away my sunglasses for this interview. And now we are going to talk about something that is very, very concerning to me, and very concerning to my mate Kim. How are you?
How you going? Good to see you.
Kim, thank you for your hospitality today
Been a pleasure.
and showing us around the museum.
That's one of the things I enjoy about being involved with the museum is showing people, and no matter how many times I do it, I still get the goosebumps because it's a place that holds very close to my heart.
Well, I only visit museums, and I visit a lot of museums. This particular museum is probably around about 50-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We had our 50th anniversary last September of the creation of the committee to run the establishment as a museum.
yeah. So the thing that concerns me, and we were chatting about this earlier, is there are three things that are kind of holding you up. I'm concerned that museums like this over time will go the way of the dodo because of a lack of funding,
Correct?
a lack of progression plans,
Absolutely.
and a lack of volunteers. So, I mean, I'd love to volunteer at a museum, but I simply don't have the time. I'm busy promoting the museums. But I noticed that a lot of the youngsters like yourself that are volunteering at the museum, at some point you're going to want to put your feet up, and
right.
after you, there's nobody behind you.
That's right. And this is one of the most important things about museums in keeping them alive. We need to instill in the younger people an interest in how life was before their time, so that they can teach their children how things really were. Otherwise, we're going to lose it.
Well, a museum is an understanding as to where we came from the point of pioneers right through till today. There's a number of jobs that I used to do as a young fella, and there's no app for shearing a sheep. There's no app for milking a cow, but we do have better technology. The thing is that there were hard times. Hard times brought this country to where it is now, and a museum will give you an insight as to what life was really like. And without more funding, without more volunteers, and without a progression plan, then it's quite likely that you'll never get to see or understand what museums are about.
That's right. And unfortunately, it's a sign of the times, but because we've been closed for a couple of years and we now have a team in place that are enthusiastic and inspired to get the place back to where it should be. We may never get back to where it was when they had 150 volunteers, but we're trying hard to be able to get a good body of volunteers to do the work that needs to be done. No matter how small a job is as a volunteer, it helps to get the greater picture.
Yeah, even the water boy plays an important role on a football team. So, it doesn't matter what you can contribute, so long as you can contribute something. But yeah, if you're thinking about becoming a volunteer at your local museum, go and say hello. It's amazing what you'll learn. There are skills in place that they just don't teach anymore, and skills that you will need to learn from gentlemen like Kim and the other people who are walking around the museum. There are skills that will die with the current generation of volunteers if we don't act now. Thanks, Kim.
You're very welcome, and thank you for coming along and sharing our wonderful establishment with the rest of Australia.
Well, if you don't mind, I might come back next weekend.
Make sure you bring your working clothes with you, because I'll get you to do some jobs for us.
I'm not mowing the lawn, I'm telling you now.
That's okay, we usually tie a stubby to them, a lawnmower, that'll make it go quicker.
Deal. Thanks, mate.
You're welcome.